So what we never do is like when we have a guest in, we don't like speak to them for like beforehand because you exhaust the interview beforehand. But with Travis Pastrana, you can't help. Like we've been talking to you for like 15 minutes now, exhausting everything we can out of you. But he's one of the most amazing guys I've ever met. Like seriously, like
look at this.
the great Travis Pastrana.
Thanks, guys. Man, that's a heck of an intro.
Well,
You had me on.
You're a bona fide superstar. Look, this is my mate Mark, who texted me this morning. He goes, "Did I hear you guys are having Travis Pastrana on today?" And I went, "Yeah, mate, he's coming in." And then he goes, "F me, that's awesome. He's got the biggest balls in the world."
You got the Gymkhana thing. No, it's been a fun ride. I appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't have quite the entrance last time when I came in. Got to
What about that?
That was
do some
unbelievable.
burnouts through your office.
And through the boss's office. That wasn't in our office. You came in and dropped that huge burnout.
Well, if you're going to burn out in anyone's office, it's probably got to be the boss.
Hey,
right.
Trav, turned out to be a good thing. Thank you.
There you go.
It was good.
I'm more interested in your family because I'm a mum as well, and you look like you have the most fun family. I'm looking at reels of you. Your wife's a professional skateboarder. Your kids are amazing athletes. What sort of stuff do you do at home?
I never thought that I was going to be training them. I thought I was training for action sports, but it turns out I'm a cheer dad now, and they're one's the lead tumbler on the team, one's the flyer.
Really?
Oh, really?
My wife, multiple-time X Games gold medalist, and she for skateboarding. So when it went to the Olympics, she took about 6 months, and she trained as hard as she could, and I kind of was like the stay-at-home dad for a little bit. I was like,
hang on, she went to the Olympics?
No, so she was going to train for it, and she won the World Championships in 2019. Like came back, it was like 15 years, and she had won that before, and she was focused on it. And she said, "You know what? I was in Spain. I was standing on top of the podium, and I thought, I regret missing." She goes, "In that moment, he goes, I regret missing the time with the kids that it took to get here." She's like, "There's no way I'm going to be able to spend another year and not think." So it's just an interesting dynamic, and I think that's you come from being an Olympian. I mean, that's I don't know how do you take like parenthood,
It's hard, a lot harder than being an Olympian, but it goes so fast. But it looks like you recreate all the fun that you can have at the Olympics at your house. Looks like you've got your own like bicycle track, trampolines, jumps, skateboarding.
I've created. Everyone calls it Pastrana Land. It's I have never grown up, but it's cool because now with kids and stuff, and like I said, they're mainly into cheer and tumbling, but a lot of that you can still do with they still love skateboarding and motorcycle.
Awesome.
When my daughter was 7, she jumped over my wife. So she was in a Can-Am 1000cc, 50 miles an hour, 75-foot jump. She jumped over my wife in a Subaru, and we did a little commercial. So stuff like that.
7?
Yeah.
But you're lucky, Trav, aren't you, that your kids sort of share that excitement or that passion for adventure, excitement, or whatever that is.
They don't have a choice.
I was going to say, do they really
fun.
have a choice? It probably sounds like they don't. But you're in town with the Nitro Circus, the Suncorp Stadium. Take over Suncorp Stadium, and you still love this stuff. Because you got to put it on the line every time you go out.
This is like Nitro World Games now. This is like stepping it up.
No, this isn't Nitro Circus. This right here, Suncorp Stadium this weekend. You have the best in the world, and amazingly, right around this area, Suncoast and Gold Coast, and I mean, Logan, all the guys. There's Olympic gold medalists here.
Yeah.
This is the best. There's 2 Aussies, crazy freaking Aussies, going for triple backflips. That is, I don't do meters, but you're 85 feet in the air. Like that's
30 meters.
That's 8 stories up, doing a triple backflip.
30 meters.
250. They're bending the handlebars on the takeoff. They're going through 7 Gs on the takeoff. These guys are animals, and they've never landed it before. That's going down Sunday. I'm not saying they're going to land it, but there are 2 men from Australia trying to do triple backflips.
What is your thinking when you've done something? Because there's been probably, I don't know how many times, maybe hundreds in your life where you've done something you've never done before, where there's an element of risk, an element like how do you face that? Like how do you face that? Like when you're in that and you're trying to do a triple backflip, no one's ever done it before.
Overconfidence and optimism. No, preparation, honestly. No, I mean, at the end of the day, these guys are going out there, and girls, and they basically these are the biggest ramps in the world. You know, when you go to X Games or Olympics, like everything's standardized. So they can do big stuff and they got to do it perfect. You know, it's point your toes, it's be the best you can be. But they're coming here to World Games. They have bigger jumps than they've ever hit. They have more airtime than they've ever had. And they have an opportunity to do stuff that's never been done. Every single rider will be doing something at this event that they have never done before. Skate, scooter, BMX. And just the excitement or the sheer fear and terror in the rider, like all in a positive way, and we try to be as safe as we possibly can. But this is where stuff that's never happened is going to happen, and it's been 2 years since COVID. This event hasn't happened. Like, they've been waiting to drop these tricks.
You get me pumped up. But like, if you're a competitor and you're going to be at Suncorp, so do you get fired up before this? But like before you go, or you got to be cool and chill, or like what is it like just before you go down the ramp or do it?
Having Pastrana Land or at the house, where you get to have all the best in the world, and selfishly you get to see how everyone kind of prepares for stuff, and you kind of take note of that. And there's some people that need to be fully pumped up, and some people need to be the opposite. Cool, calm, collected. I mean, everyone has a different program. For me, it's repetition into the airbags and the foam pits and everything that we have to be like, okay, I'm 8 for 10 on this. I just need to make sure it's not number 9 or number 10, and I need to do it absolutely perfect. And if you decide to do it, like, that's the fear. That's the drop. When you drop in and say, yes, I'm going to do a triple backflip, or I'm going to do whatever you're going to do. A lot of these, there's a triple hit where there's 3 jumps back to back. They have to do 3 tricks that they might have never done. And the second they land it, instead of getting excited and being like, I did something that no one's ever done before,
straight onto something else.
They're straight up in the air the next time doing another trick.
Do you love how it's like, probably 20 years ago, this was like a backstreet sort of thing. Now it's like literally some of these sports we're talking about now, Olympic sports. And as Aussies, we bat above our average. Like, we got some crazy dudes like Mick Doohan, like a 5-time 500cc world champion. Troy Bayliss. Like, Aussies, like, in the craziness factor, like, are we up
Chad
there?
Reed, Chet Lawrence. Okay, so I get so much crap every time I come home, and they're like, dude, why are you always promoting everything in Australia? Why are you always holding the biggest events in Australia? Why do you always have so many Australians on your tour? I'm like, because you guys are the craziest sons of guns in the entire world, and I'm supporting whoever's the craziest, doing the craziest stuff that comes with I shouldn't say the dumbest idea, the most unique, creative, opportunistic idea. That's where we're gonna go. That's where we're gonna support. And honestly, this area right here in Brisbane, like, you guys, it's gonna feel like it's kind of like a local event because you are the best in the world. Like, this is an awesome opportunity. Like, Olympic gold medalists, they're all from here. Yeah. Like, this is awesome.
And how old do you reckon you'll be? Will you be like 80 and still be doing this sort of stuff? Will you just keep doing it forever?
Or will you down to a double backflip at 80?
Yeah, you see, a double backflip was like what I made my career on. It was like the biggest thing. Okay, they just warmed up. There was like 6 guys in a row that warmed up on their first jump because the jump's so steep and so big. If you just do one, it's hard to slow the rotation. So they're just like warming up with doubles. And I'm like, well, that was the pinnacle of my career.
But without you, Travis, you broke the ground.
Exactly.
That, and then they'll do whatever they do, and then it'll continue on from there. Like, it's pretty cool, right?
But the neatest thing about this is, like, and just talking to Logan yesterday, I mean, when I grew up, it was like, oh, well, you hooligan, like, get a real job. Now it's like you can represent your country on the highest platform in the world.
Trav, in 10 years, we've got the Olympics right here in Brisbane.
Yeah, and you guys are going to, in the action sports side, I mean, they're bringing in more, I mean, skate and BMX, and they're trying to bring in more everything. Like, you guys are going to, it's going to be like the Brisbane Olympics with the Brisbane, I mean, if the youth keeps coming up like they are in this area.
How good is that? And look at you, you've made a career out of what you love at the moment, gone to the top, and then you mentioned Logan. We only had him on the show last week. Talking about what a great story that is as well. And now kids like you, people like you, they do have an opportunity to make a career out of this.
So, and like we said, Pastrana Land a couple of times. I mean, I hate to use that because it's my name, but that's what everyone calls my house for whatever reason. But they got R. Willie Land. He's kind of copied the same thing. But Ryan Williams started out like about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, like scooter. We're like, oh, it's another scooter kid coming up. He jumped on someone's bicycle and did the trick that had never been done. And then he goes to X Games and becomes the winningest X Games big air athlete on a BMX bike. Just to be like, hey, scootering's cool, and we're actually better than all of you guys. And so he
shows what true athletes they are.
No, and so he's been the biggest YouTube sensation, the biggest like action sports. This guy R. Willie from the Sunshine Coast.
Is he?
He is absolutely. The stuff that he does a world's first on his, like, for breakfast, like just warming up, something that no one else has ever done.
How old is he?
And probably 26 now, there-ish.
Oh,
I feel like everyone feels like a kid to me now. I'm getting old, but no, he brings all the best in the world, and they all come to his house, and they all train. He's building up the action sports community, and I think that's a lot of the reason why there's so many great athletes around
this area.
He's like his own institute of sport.
He is.
He's fostering and helping mentoring the next generation.
Yeah, but then, I mean, with the Olympic programs now, it's awesome because these guys, guys like Jay Toohey, who, I mean, not to throw Jay under the bus, but he was an amazing athlete, but he liked to drink and liked to party, and now he's on the Olympic roster, and there's no drinking, there's training every day, there's working out. He's like, and his riding elevated since the Olympics so far, and it's just cool to see. Like, it's no longer just.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still fun. It's still exciting, but man, it's such an opportunity.
How are we going to get people to go swimming training? It's so boring compared to
Well, introduce fear. Sharks in the pool.
I'd swim faster.
Nitro swimming. Great white sharks.
Listen, as the great Travis Pastrana says, some of the best athletes in the world are in town this
is tomorrow
weekend.
and Sunday.
Nitro World Games.
Tickets
this
available.
weekend.
Get out. You do not want to miss this.
Suncorp Stadium. Now get these tickets at nitroworldgames.com, and that sounds like it'd be great. And what a legend you are, Travis Pastrana. Make sure you follow him on social media. Great to have you in the studio. Next time you come in, we'll mix it up.
We'll bring
again.
a monster truck. We'll jump over.
Let's do that.